Well, hello there, Corporate Misfits. Welcome to episode 26 of the Corporate Misfit podcast. I'm your host, Brittany Darrington, and I'm so excited for today's mindset and motivation episode. So recently, I had a few conversations with some of our Corporate Misfit members, and we were going over some limited beliefs that were keeping some of them from reaching their highest potential. And I thought to myself, there are so many people in this world, whether you're an entrepreneur or not an entrepreneur, that have limited beliefs that are hindering us from accomplishing and achieving our wildest and biggest dreams and goals. So I want to talk about how you can overcome limiting beliefs so that you can reach your highest potential, but you can also release some of the things that are not serving your mind well. So if you're ready for it, I am too. Let's go ahead and dive in.
You're listening to the Corporate Misfit podcast with Brittany Darrington, where female entrepreneurs can get powerful tips and advice on how to start, launch, and grow their business.
So let's talk about limiting beliefs. Now, limiting beliefs are when we start to hold on to something that doesn't serve our mind well. So self-limiting beliefs are belief systems that we hold on to inside, and we hold on to them tightly, and then we start to believe that these beliefs are true. Usually limited beliefs are negative and they're hindering us from our growth. We usually adopt these self-limiting beliefs as children or something that we've heard from someone else and they told us. Sometimes we put ourselves in places to where it's hard for us to even be able to control or eliminate some of these limited beliefs because they feel so true. But one thing I have found with self-limiting beliefs is that when you hold on to things that can hinder you from your growth, it will keep you from manifesting and really being able to reach your highest level of potential. So some of the limited beliefs that some people have, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship, is I am not good enough. I am not. Or I don't have the time. And so we go back to these things, and I have to always ask, why do you feel like you are not good enough? Where did you hear this information? And usually when I talk to my members and my clients about why they don't feel good enough, it always goes back to maybe it was something that a family member told them, or something that a friend mentioned to them, or maybe they had a bully and told them that they weren't good enough. And what happened from there was that mind really started to believe that negative, hindering comment. And they have now taken that situation or that comment and held on to that limited belief and have taken that into their adulthood, their career, their relationships, and any other place in their life. Holding on to self-limiting beliefs like I'm awkward, or I don't have, or I must not, or I can't, it keeps you from living your best life. And here's the crazy part. Most of the time, the beliefs aren't true. We have fallen into the trap of believing the self-limiting beliefs, and then we have started to limit ourselves from actually accomplishing goals, dreams, desires. Sometimes we don't even move forward. We don't even pursue some of the things that we want because of the beliefs that we have started to believe, and we don't acknowledge it, and we hold on to these beliefs, and ultimately it limits you in everything that you do. If you're in a situation where maybe you're uncomfortable to talk to people, you start to say, I'm socially awkward. I'm not able to talk to people. The truth is, you are able to talk to people. You aren't socially awkward. You have everything within you that's super cool, and people want to get to know you. But our limited beliefs have put us in a place where it keeps us from going forward. So I want to talk about how you can overcome your self-limiting beliefs so that you can reach your highest potential and you could do what it is that you were called to do and really live your life to the fullest desires and manifest everything that you want. So there are a few steps that you really need to take to overcome limiting beliefs, to really start to clean out that mind so that you can put some inspiring beliefs inside of you so that you can start to believe in yourself and you can release all of the limitations that are keeping you from flying through that ceiling. So the first thing to help you really overcome self-limiting beliefs is to first acknowledge your self-limiting belief. You have to be honest with yourself. What limiting beliefs do you hold on to that you have come up over and over and over whenever you're doing something or getting out of your comfort zone or pursuing your goals? What comes up over and over again? I know for me, I am dyslexic. And one of the things that has come up for me over and over again was that I am not good enough, because when I was growing up, I had several teachers within middle school and high school tell me that I am going to have a really difficult time being successful because I struggled with reading and writing. Well, I'm going to let you all know that once I acknowledged that self-limiting belief, once I sat down and I said, am I not good enough because a teacher told me that since I had dyslexia that I would not be able to read and write well and be successful? Heck no. I have overcome some massive goals. I have reached a lot of things that I have put my mind for to do, but I didn't do it until I decided to let go of the belief that just because I had a situation where I was unable to read and write like some of the other students did not mean that I didn't have the capability of being successful in my life. So take a step back, and I want you to write on a piece of paper and identify what is holding you back. What self-limiting beliefs keep coming up over and over and over again, so that we can identify them and help you to get past them so they don't hinder your personal growth. So these beliefs can be anything. They could be fears, they can be excuses, they can be experiences. I want you to write down, what is it that pops up in your head over and over and over every time you want to pursue that big goal of yours. The second thing I want you to do is then find the core reason for those beliefs. After you list out all those self-limiting beliefs that you have, I want you to try to understand the reasons for why you have those beliefs. Again, this can come from your childhood experience. This can come from society. This can come from, a bully telling you that you weren't good enough. This can come from so many different things. Maybe even in your workforce, your work career, you had someone tell you that your work wasn't good, or they told you that you would never be anything. What is it that you have heard that you started to believe? Or what did you tell yourself that you then began to believe? And you have to identify, where did this core belief come from? Again, going back to my situation, my core belief about me being stupid and not being able to be successful came from a teacher. And you know what? When I wrote that down, I told myself, you know what? I forgive this person. I forgive them because you know what? Maybe they were insecure. Maybe they had a bad day. Maybe they didn't know how to talk to people, so that they put their insecurities, their fears, and their excuses on that person. Maybe they saw potential in me, but they didn't want to acknowledge that. They wanted to acknowledge the bad things that they saw just because they had their own issues. So once I identified that core belief, it then allowed me to move into step number 3, understanding that those core beliefs are simply not true. Some of the most successful people in the world are dyslexic, like the most successful people in the world. And I told myself, am I going to let this limited belief that has been put on me stick with me for the rest of my life, or am I going to release it? So once I understood that those beliefs are simply not true, that I go about reading and writing differently, and that's okay, and that's what makes me unique, and that's what makes me who I am today, it helped me to realize that that belief that I was holding on to, that I'm stupid, or that I'm not able to reach high success because I struggled with reading and writing, I let that go, because it simply was not true. And usually when you can acknowledge that that belief is not true, it then helps your brain to shut down on all of the negative thoughts that are associated with that one belief. Ladies, I want you to know that if you are holding on to a belief, it's not going to just keep you from reaching your highest goals and your potential, but it's also going to tear you down within your mind. And what I mean by that is anytime you go into a relationship, anytime you are in a place of where you're trying to achieve success or reach a goal, anytime that you are in situations where you're going to have to get uncomfortable, you're going to hold yourself back, and that's going to tear you up. So you need to let go of these beliefs, and you need to understand that those beliefs are simply not true. But just after that, you can't just walk away and say, okay, this belief isn't true. I'm good. All right. I'm solid. Now my self-beliefs are all positive and great. No, you have to now go into step number 4. You have to arm yourself with new empowering beliefs. You have to take some time to really acknowledge those beliefs that you are addressing that simply aren't true. And then you need to form new beliefs. How do you do that? How do you form new beliefs? So instead of me holding on to I'm stupid or I'm not going to be successful because of my dyslexia, I then held on to I'm so proud that I have gone through what I've gone through. I am so grateful that I actually look at writing and reading in a different way. And I am so grateful that I have this unique thing within me that allows me to pursue my goals and my dreams. Finding ways to empower yourself and see positive new beliefs allows you to then replace those negative beliefs that you have within. And it might be hard to change at first, but ultimately over time, you will then start to believe your positive beliefs. You will then eliminate your negative beliefs, and now you can see yourself in another light. So for example, if you say, I can't speak in front of a large audience, and you change it to, I am so comfortable speaking in front of large audiences, and I have an excellent public speaking ability, I promise you, you are going to start to believe it, and you're going to start to carry yourself like you believe that you can speak in front of large audiences. You're going to carry yourself like you're comfortable when you get in front of large audiences, and you're going to release that limited belief that told you that you're fearful and scary and you can't do it. You can't get in front of people. You're going to start sweating. You're going to pass out, all that kind of stuff. You're going to start to release those limited beliefs. Okay, now the last thing that you want to do once you have armed yourself with positive new beliefs is now you want to move into step number 5, which is gather evidence while challenging your new beliefs. So after doing all of the things that I mentioned today, the next thing is you want to seek this evidence for your found belief. And you will find that the more you spend time believing and acting like the new you, the more it becomes true in your reality. You can finally say goodbye to the self-limiting beliefs because you are now going to be empowered and you're going to be ready to take the next steps towards manifesting your deepest desires and living your life and building your dream empire. I want you to know, I don't care who told you what it is that they said. You are more than enough. You're worthy. You could do it. And you're capable of anything you put your mind to. Whether it be a family member who told you you weren't good enough, whether it be a coworker who said that you would never be successful, whether it be a teacher who told you something that was like, what the heck? Why the heck would they say that? I want you to know that you are capable of letting go of that limiting belief, and you are capable of changing that belief into something positive so that you can get to your next level of success, so you could live your best life, so that you don't hinder yourself from your growth, your goals, and all the potential that's within you. You see, limited beliefs will never help you to move forward. Limited beliefs will always keep you stuck, hindered, and in the past. But if you can move forward and you can push past some of these limited beliefs that you might be facing, that might arise whenever you're in an uncomfortable situation, whenever you're going after your goals, your dreams, if you can push past the limited beliefs, I promise you, you are going to see something that is so worth it. And it will make all of this stuff that you might have gone through worth going through. So here's what we're going to do. In order for you to overcome that self-belief, you have to acknowledge it so that you can move past it. You have to identify the core reason for it. You have to understand that those beliefs are simply not true. And you need to arm yourself with new empowering beliefs. And then you're going to gather that evidence while you're challenging your newfound belief. And you're going to start turning things into a positive. I want to leave you with some wise words from Blue Ivy, Jay-Z, and Beyonce's child. She said, I have never seen a ceiling in my whole life. Ladies, don't look at the ceiling. Don't get stopped by the ceiling. I want you to see past some of those self-limiting beliefs, and I want you to see past the ceiling. All right. I can't wait to see you on some of our upcoming episodes on the Corporate Misfit podcast. We have our Wednesday strategy session coming up, and we also have our Friday feature featuring some amazing women sharing how they left their 9-to-5 to start their own business. Okay, Corporate Misfits, I will see you on some of our upcoming episodes, and make sure that you subscribe and also leave a comment letting me know what you thought of today's episode.
If you've enjoyed today's episode of the Corporate Misfit podcast, we invite you to check out the Corporate Misfit Club. The Corporate Misfit Club is the essential resource for female entrepreneurs who are looking to start or grow a business they actually love. Whether you are a seasoned entrepreneur in your startup phase or simply thinking about taking the leap into entrepreneurship, we've got your back, girl. With our extensive course library, monthly training, exclusive members-only discount perks, and unlimited tools. We also have a supportive community of women where our members share stories, experiences, their wins, and business tips. The Corporate Misfit Club is the perfect place to be to start, launch, or grow a business. So check it out at corporatemisfitclub.com.